tonight.
Blame it on daylight savings time if you wanna, but regardless, we get an extra hour of snarl this week.
And in this last hour tonight, 5 big matches standing by. And they're all hot items.
Yes, they are, GB. Our first match in this third hour tonight, we're gonna see the Hawaiian Lion, our WL Hall of Famer, Big Jim Hondo, and he's facing Playboy Buddy Rose, hot off his failed bid for the Mid-South Championship against Billy White Moon last week.
So let's return to ringside now for Hondo versus Playboy Buddy Rose in one-on-one competition.
And I love the Hawaiian Lion, Big Jim Hondo. He's joined at ringside by the great Ramula, his tag team partner, in this matchup against Playboy Buddy Rose.
Our next contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by the great Ramula from Kona, Hawaii, weighing 248 pounds, the Hawaiian Lion, Big Jim Hondo.
It's always like a little taste of Hawaii when Hondo makes the scene. Joined at ringside by tag partner, the great Ramula. They're a team that ruled the tag team division prior to the original's arrival on the scene in 2012.
And boy, oh boy, he's been looking forward to this matchup with the Playboy, with whom Hondo has never seen eye to eye.
And he loves poking fun at Buddy Rose. Hondo said he'd love to invite Buddy Rose to a Hawaiian luau, so everyone would see the Playboy's true talent is at the dinner table, not in the ring. Hondo's loves roasting Playboy Buddy Rose.
All I know is I'm looking forward to what should be an excellent match. His opponent from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing a slim trim 217 pounds, here is Playboy Buddy Rose.
Still smarting from his failed bid for the RWL Mid-South Championship against Billy White Moon, and he thinks of Hondo the same way Hondo thinks of him. Buddy Rose had called the Hawaiian Lion, and out of shape has been talk about pot, kettle, black.
Hondo heard that little sound bite, and he's always quick with a clapback. He said, if I'm an out of shape has been, but he must be an out of shape never was. Quick-witted, and never without getting the last word. That's Big Jim Hondo in a nutshell.
Buddy only identifies as a slim trim 217 pounds. But these days, all you gotta do is say you're a cat, and boom! They buy you a litter pan to go to the bathroom in.
Wally! Can't you see I'm trying to work? Litter pan. There's the bell. And here we go. Buddy Rose opens up with a kick. Big Jim Hondo counters with an elbow to the leg. Tries a drop kick, but doesn't take Buddy Rose down. A clubbing overhand right from the Playboy. Playboy Buddy Rose rounds him up over the shoulders. Big Jim Hondo counters with elbows right to the face of the Playboy. Box him up. There's an elbow to the face. Big Jim Hondo rounds up Playboy Buddy Rose for a snap suplex in the ring. The Playboy rounded up again by Hondo. Hondo whips him to the corner, and he just rebounds out. It was so hard. A driving knee into the head of Playboy Buddy Rose. Big Jim Hondo taking his time with the project, rolls Playboy Buddy Rose over and goes for a cover. One. Not even one. Playboy Buddy Rose still with too much steam in the tank. The Playboy up on one knee tags Hondo with a left. Gets a hold of him, has him up in the fireman's carry again. Flapjacks him face first into the canvas. There's a kick from the Playboy. The great Ramula looking supremely confident in his tag team partner. Buddy Rose with a shot to the midsection and an elbow to the side of the head and a clothesline that simply did not work. Hondo snaps the arm on Buddy Rose. Whips him to the corner. Buddy Rose counters. Hondo counters. Hondo delivers a forearm. Buddy Rose counters off the ropes. Another clothesline that doesn't take Hondo down. He can't do it. Look at this. Big Jim Hondo rounds the big Playboy up over the shoulder. Flapjacks him in retaliation. That's 217 slim trim pounds slamming into the canvas. Snap suplex from Hondo to the Playboy, and he's urging Playboy Buddy Rose to get up so he can knock him down again. Oh, man. Hondo Catches an elbow from the Playboy, back up on his feet, charges, swings and misses with the clothesline. Hondo catches a clothesline that finally succeeds in taking him down. Playboy Buddy Rose must be extremely proud of himself. Oh, man. Up over the shoulders again, but Hondo, with elbows to the side of the head of the Playboy, gathers him up into a dragon sleeper. There's an uppercut. Buddy Rose whipped to the far right corner. There's a clothesline from Big Jim Hondo. Hondo drops the leg across the throat of the Playboy. There's a flip over neck whip. And here's another cover from Hondo. 1, 2. Oh, just a 1. How about that? Playboy Buddy Rose giving Big Jim Hondo some trouble here. As far as putting him away goes, now he's got a rear chin lock locked in on Playboy Buddy Rose. And Playboy Buddy Rose can't seem to escape it. Well, now, Hondo releases the hold. Big Jim Hondo countered by the Playboy with a shoulder tackle. That's that Playboy Buddy Rose. Looking like he's already got the match won. There's a clothesline to Hondo. There's a second one. Big Jim Hondo whipped to the corner. Here comes the Playboy. There's a splash. And a crossbody off the ropes from Playboy Buddy Rose. Surprised he didn't go for the pin right there. Hondo counters with a right forearm. Gets Buddy Rose up in the fireman's carry. Michinoku driver, center ring. Here's a cover. 1, 2. But no dice. Playboy Buddy Rose giving Hondo some trouble here. Here's a backbreaker from the Hawaiian Lion. And Playboy Buddy Rose looks to be fading fast. There's a back body drop from the Playboy. There's a kick to the back of Big Jim Hondo. Hondo counters with a kick to the midsection of the Playboy. A big target that can't be missed. Here's a whip to the ropes and a spinning elbow from Playboy Buddy Rose. And here's a cover. 1, 2. But nope, not again. Okay. Big Jim Hondo rounded up. Here's a set of jabs from the Playboy. A little fancy footwork and a hard right hand that takes him down the canvas. Playboy Buddy Rose probably used all the energy he had left to do it. Hondo gathered back up again by the Playboy. Again up over the shoulders into the fireman's carry. But a quick counter and a DDT from Big Jim Hondo. Takes the Playboy back down again. The Playboy with another shoulder tackle to Big Jim Hondo. Rounds Hondo up again. Hondo with a shot to the midsection. Playboy Buddy Rose whips him to the far right corner. Sets him up on the top turnbuckle. Tags him with a right. Looks like Big Jim Hondo, the Hawaiian Lion's going to be going for a ride. A top rope superplex coming from Playboy Buddy Rose. And boom, there it is. And the crowd's going nuts. But Big Jim Hondo, I'm sure, did not appreciate it. Ray Ramula looking on. A chop across the chest from Playboy Buddy Rose. They tussle. Hondo shoves him back. There's a clothesline that takes Buddy Rose into the apron. Hondo rolls him back inside the ring. Big Jim Hondo takes himself all the way up topside here. And here it comes. He misses with the elbow. Playboy Buddy Rose stepped out of the way just a step too fast. Buddy Rose with Hondo by the hair, but Hondo counters with elbows to the midsection. The Playboy rounded up into another DDT from Big Jim Hondo. Hondo goes for the cover and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and call this one closed. Big Jim Hondo picks up the win over Playboy Buddy Rose.
The time, 6 minutes and 12 seconds. And your winner by pinfall, Big Jim Hondo.
I guess Playboy Buddy Rose is going to go into his 217-pound litter pan and feel sorry for himself. The great Ramula looking on as his tag team partner, Big Jim Hondo, racks up a singles win tonight against the Playboy. And wow, Wally, you damn near killed me with that litter pan crack, man. Wow. Big Jim Hondo picking up the win over Playboy Buddy Rose. And we'll be back with more RWL Snarl. Meow! I'm a cat. Buy me a litter pan.
While our GM collects himself, We'll be right back with more RWL mat action in a moment.
Meow. Well, all right, folks, the RWL Super Heavyweight Championship is in the hands of the Mexican monolith Warlord Santos, but that may change after this. Vader and Yokozuna get set to lock it up to decide which of them's going to be the number one contender for the Super Heavyweight title and a shot at the Mexican monolith, Johnny.
If you're determined to keep reminding me, I still say Vader is a tub of unrendered hog fat.
He still hasn't forgiven Vader for shoving Sylvia Strong to the ground earlier this year. I don't think he's ever gonna get over it.
Nope.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, and the winner will be designated as number one contender for the WL Super Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 450 pounds, here is Vader. He's disgusting, he's morbidly obese, and he smells like old bologna marinating in vinegar inside a sweatsuit.
Hey man, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel.
Seriously, just F this guy. I hope Yokozuna sits on him, so he has to be spooned into a plastic bag.
Honestly, Tex, what are we gonna do with this guy?
I have no idea, Mr. Cardell. But GB is definitely salty about Vader and his conduct towards Sylvia Strong. I don't think he'll ever be forgiven for it either.
Maybe one day, when I'm old and trying to get into heaven maybe. But until then, he's still a pig with a jockstrap on its head.
Oh, Johnny. I don't know about you sometimes, but I sure hope Vader never catches wind of all the horrible stuff you said about him. But setting aside Johnny's animus towards Vader for just a minute, let's not lose sight of the fact that Yokozuna could very well put a monkey wrench in Vader's plans and he could become the new number one contender for the Super Heavyweight title.
His opponent from the land of the rising sun, weighing 475 pounds, here is Yokozuna.
While we've literally got tons of super heavyweight competitors in our WL, Yokozuna still ranks as one of the biggest and heaviest stars we've got going. The man outweighs even his opponent Vader by a pretty sizable margin. And while Vader is favored and projected as the probable winner in this situation, I wouldn't mind seeing Yoko here pull an upset on Vader. And what a match that would be against Warlord Santos for the super heavyweight belt.
I've got to admit, either one of these guys coming up with the win, sorry, Johnny. Either one of these guys coming up with the win is going to present a real challenge to the Mexican monolith, but I think Yokozuna would present an even bigger and heavier challenge. I'm right there with you, Wally.
I hope Yokozuna here splashes Vader from the top turnbuckle, splattering his disgusting, thick, yellow fat all over the first 10 rows. Disgusting tub of hog fat. Fat, smelly tub of...
Johnny, I'm going to stop you right there for your own good.
As for Santos himself, he's stated he doesn't care which of these two guys is gonna challenge for the super heavyweight title, and he says it's not going anyplace anytime soon.
Well, he would certainly know he's held on to it long enough. But one of these two guys could definitely wind up taking the title away from Santos.
Well, I want Yokozuna to win here.
That's all right, GB. I'll understand if you're rooting for Yokozuna. That's just fine with me. Well, Vader and Yokozuna are ready. Let's see who's going to face Warlord Santos next. Willie Johnson rings the bell, and here we go. Vader, shoved back by Yokozuna, follows that up with a clothesline in response. Vader with a right, a kick, and a DDT to Yokozuna, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Vader in control of things at the present time. Yokozuna not able to get up. Vader will not let him get to a standing position for some reason. Well, now. Anyway, Yokozuna on the outside, Vader all the way up on the top rope, and here he comes. Boom! Oh, man. 450 pounds. Comes crashing down. That's not funny. Yokozuna taking a serious beating at the hands of Vader. Johnny, I know you're not appreciating this very much, but it is what it is. Vader with a hard shot to the rather ample midsection of Yokozuna. Several of them, in fact. Oh, man. Vader has him by the throat, and he's going to go again. Oh, man. Yokozuna's going to lose his lunch. Yoko rolled back inside the ring by Vader. Vader telling him to bring it. Well, now. Vader charges. and takes down Yokozuna. Wow. Man, cover one. Only a one, says the ref. Vader, back up on his feet first, gets a hold of Yokozuna, escorts him towards the ropes. Yoko, about to lose his arm to Vader against that rope. Vader has him by the throat again. He's going to attack him with another shot to the gut. Oh, man. Surprised he ain't thrown up yet. Vader bouncing Yokozuna off the ropes with back shots. Goes behind on him. Headbutt to the back of the head of Yokozuna. A rolling elbow to the back. And I'm telling you, Yokozuna's never looked more helpless than he is right now. Yes, I know that. But anyway, Vader drops an elbow on the leg of Yokozuna. Follows that up with a stomp. Yoko back up on his feet. And whoa! Tried to clothesline him, it didn't work. How about that now? Vader whips Yoko to the ropes. Big double clap to the sides of the head of Yokozuna, and Vader very much in control of things at the moment. And oh man, Yokozuna just getting abused, roundly abused at the hands of Vader. Man, he came in aggressive today. Vader puts the boots to the hands and fingers of Yokozuna. And Yokozuna has still yet to mount any credible offense here. There's an elbow to the leg of Yokozuna. Vader rounds him up again. Hard whip to the far right corner. There's a splash. He brings him out of the corner. Rounds him up. Look at this, man. Whoa. Scoop slam, 400-something pounds. There's a stomp to the face from Vader. And now Vader grinding the face of Yokozuna into the canvas. Follows it up with an elbow to the back of the head. And man, Vader's real aggressive this time. I think it's pretty safe to say we can see who it is that's going to wind up facing the Mexican monolith at this point. Yokozuna rolls to the outside. Vader makes a beeline for him. The referee already counting. Vader tries for the splash, but Yoko rolls out of the way in a split second. Yokozuna gets a hold of Vader. Slams his head into the... Oh, man, well, finally some aggression from Yokozuna here. But Vader turns it around on him, gets him back inside the ring. That may be the only fence Yokozuna gets. Vader misses with the running kick, locks up Yokozuna. There's a knee to the midsection. There's a double axe handle across the back of Yokozuna. Vader drives the elbow into the leg of Yokozuna again. Yokozuna rounded up by Vader. Hard whip to the far left corner. Vader charges again. Brings Yokozuna out, lifts up that big 470-something pounds and slams it center ring. Vader with a rolling elbow to the chest of Yokozuna. Okay, now getting his head beat against the canvas by Vader. Yokozuna in big time trouble here. Vader takes it to the outside apron, takes it to the top turnbuckle. And here he comes, elbow across the chest of Yokozuna. There's a cover, a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Johnny, I'm sorry, looks like we'll be seeing Vader again real soon. He picks up the win by pinfall.
The time, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Vader.
Oh, come on, GB, don't sulk. Vader absolutely owned Yokozuna in this match, and he deserved to win it, damn it. I know you're not happy with that result, but it is what it is. The Yokozuna absolutely got owned in this matchup. Vader, fully in control practically from bell to bell. Yokozuna offering only minimal defense. And now it looks like Vader is the new #1 contender for the RWL Super Heavyweight Championship held by Warlord Santos, and I guess we'll be seeing them locking it up real soon. When we return, Carlito versus Big John Studd in just a minute. Well, Wally, Johnny, it's been a long time since we've seen this particular face. Coming up next is Carlito, set to go up against the return of Big John Studd.
Man, where's he been?
All will be revealed, Johnny.
Introducing first, from Puerto Rico, weighing 232 pounds, here is Carlito.
Does he still spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool? I don't know, but if he tries it on Big John Studd, he's likely to catch a fist the size of a canned ham.
Carlito is fast, he's smart, and he can go there when he has to. And he might need all of those skills to walk away from this match with his health and his pride.
That sounds like a pretty fair assessment, Wally. Carlito definitely got some skills. He's been doing this 20 years. You don't get to do it 20 years if you're not good at it. But Big John Studd, oh now, even after all that time away, the odds ain't good for Carlito.
And his opponent, accompanied by the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, from Los Angeles, California, weighing 368 pounds. Here is Big John Studd.
I've got all the 411 right here, and it really hasn't been all that long since Studd's been away. Only 9 months since his last match against Jinder Mahal, but what is very different is Jimmy Hart as Studd's new manager of choice. He's decided to return to the Legends division, but not under the guidance of former manager Freddie Blassie, whose he's totally cut ties with, making the Mouth of the South and his Megaphone the co-pilots in his career.
And we may never know what caused the rift between Studd and Blassie, since neither of them is willing to talk about it.
I doubt very highly, guys, that a guy as experienced as Big John Studd is going to have anything like ring rust, but let's see how he does against Carlito in this matchup. Referee Tom Canamora rings the bell, and here it is. Studd shoves Carlito down as an opener right there. Running kick to the side of the head. A stomp right to the face. With those big old boots, Big John Studd rounds up Carlito, power bombs him, flips him, and drives a knee into his face. Well, now, Big John Studd imposing his will pretty early here. Tries to drive the knee. It doesn't quite make it. Big John Studd still in control of Carlito here. Carlito rounded up Studd with a right, a left, another right to the midsection, winds him up, and there's a Russian leg sweep from the big guy. Carlito, center ring trap, catching mounted punches from Big John Studd, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. And Carlito looking like he's going to be having a very rough evening. Big John Studd off the middle rope moonsault. Look at that right there. You never see that from a big guy. 1, 2. No. Oh, man. But Carlito's got to do something quick because he's fading fast. Clotheslined him and nothing happens. Man, okay. Carlito slammed face down to the canvas by Studd. Big John Studd with a couple of kicks to the sides of the head. A right winds him up and into a double underhook suplex. Followed up with a stomp. Big John Studd's been doing his homework, baby. Wow. Hard kick to the back to Carlito. A little bit of Karate Kid action there. And Big John Studd getting ready to go topside on Carlito, who ain't moved. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. He's moving. He's going to stand up and get knocked down again. Oh, man. What a kick right to the face of Carlito. Big John Studd with a brutal kick to the back. As Carlito rolls to the outside, hoping to find a way to end the pain, but it's not happening. Big John Studd catches a hip toss from Carlito on the outside. The referee's already counting. Carlito with Studd off his vertical base on the outside, stamping the hands and fingers, hoping he won't beat him anymore. Carlito shoved to the floor by Big John Studd. Studd gathers him up. Pitches Carlito back inside the ring. And here comes Big John Studd. And man, Carlito, I've never seen him manhandled like this before. Couple of hard rights, spin Studd around. There's a bulldog. Face first into the mat for Big John Studd as Carlito finally comes to life here. Big John Studd stands himself up against the ropes. Carlito drapes in between. Oh, damn! I've never seen a hangman done that way. 1, but just a 1. Oh, kudos to Carlito on an inventive method of hanging somebody from the top rope, but damn. Studd whipped to the far left corner. Carlito with a couple of kicks and a couple of stomps to Big John Studd. A stomp to the midsection. Studd counters, back up on his feet. Carlito counters with a couple of rights, a left to the midsection, a chop to the chest, goes behind on Big John Studd. There's an uppercut to the back of the head. Carlito rebounds off the ropes, beautiful moonsault. And finally, some real offense from Carlito as Big John Studd starts to lose a little bit of ground. Studd laid out. Carlito drops the elbow right on his chest. And Carlito starting to look a little bit more confident at this point. And why not? Big John Studd's laid out. Rolling elbow to the back from Carlito. Yep, Carlito's feeling it now. He thinks he's got this under control. Rebound off the ropes. Beautiful moonsault again. Here's another cover. 1, 2. Near fall. John Studd got that left shoulder up. Carlito rounds up Big John Studd. Studd puts on the brakes. A hard forearm to the back of the head. Another to the back of another series of running forearms. And a hard right spins Carlito around. Up over the shoulders of Big John Studd. There's a knee right to the head. Big time knee right to the head. Carlito being dragged towards center ring. Got Big John Studd. He covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Well, now, Carlito. Well, either he's refusing to give up or he loves punishment. There's a kick to the head from Big John Studd that stuns Carlito. A shot to the back. Whip to the ropes, makes the duck under because he ain't leapfrogging nothing. There's an elbow to the head from Carlito. Carlito rounded up. He counters Studd into an inverted DDT. Oh, now it's become a real match. Yeah, here we go. Carlito whips Studd to the ropes. Walks into a wall. Carlito catches a flying punch off the ropes from Big John Studd, and he's laid out again. Big John Studd showing out for the folks here in Syracuse. A set of hard rights to the head of Carlito, followed up by a stomp to the midsection. Jimmy Hart definitely has to like what he sees. An odd choice of managerial representation for Big John Studd, but I guess he got tired of all the other managers and decided to go with the mouth of the South. Well, we'll see what happens as far as that goes. Big John Studd tortures the arm and drives knees into the back of Carlito. And Carlito counters. Delivers a couple of rights, gets back to a standing position first. Gets a hold of John Studd by the leg, delivers a kick. Studd quickly back up. Carlito gets a hold of him. There's a headlock punch to Big John Studd. A shot to the back from Carlito. Whipped over the top rope and out onto the apron. And again, Carlito's going to drape him between the ropes. There's a couple of hard shots right to the back of Big John Studd, just near the kidneys. Double knees to the back from Carlito. Well, now, Carlito sees in control of this match all of a sudden. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, Jimmy, stop. Big John Studd slow to get up this time around. Carlito rebounds off the ropes. There's the elbow right to the chest of the big guy. Carlito drives a knee into the back of his head, and he's going to keep it there. Well, now, Big John Studd makes his way back to a standing position. Carlito gets a hold of him, whips him towards the ropes. Carlito makes the duck under, and finally manages to get him down. Big John Studd, again, slowly making his way back to a standing position. There's a right from Carlito. There's another one. Carlito drives the head of Big John Studd into the turnbuckle. A kick to the ribs. And, oh, man, just rind in the face. Rind in the eyes right across that top rope. And that's wrapped in tape, and I'm telling you, that hurts. Carlito with a knee to the midsection. A stomp to the chest. The mouth of the South. Getting what in the hell's he doing? Tom Kenmore said, give me that. You can't do this anymore. Big John Studd, meanwhile, has escorted Carlito to the outside, over the top rope, ass over tea kettle. Man, that's a big human missile right there. Hard right hands to the head of Carlito, followed up with another stomp to the gut. Oh, man, Tom Kenmore's having a rough day, Hard right hands from Big John Studd. to Carlito. This match starting to run a little bit long. Momentum has shifted back and forth a couple of times. Carlito finally mounting some aggression here, but he's on the outside and getting his ass beat. Big John Studd rounds him up by the wrist, drops a knee into his head. Again. I don't know how many more of those he's going to be able to take. Big John Studd drives Carlito into the ring steps. He tries anyway. Carlito puts on the brakes. Studd gets him back inside the ring where order can finally be restored here, hopefully. Big John Studd with a stomp to the arm of Carlito. Followed up with a set of hard right hands and another stomp to the midsection with those big old boots. Man, Big John Studd taking his time getting up to the middle rope. Oh, man. Oh, the pain. That knee across the head. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. Well, wrap this one up and take it on home. Big John Studd picks up the win over Carlito by pinfall.
The time, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Big John Studd.
Absolutely no sign of ring rust on Big John Studd. And that was a great match. I'll give Carlito full marks for effort. He fought like a tiger, but it just wasn't enough against Big John Studd. Well, now, there you see it in the replay. Big John Studd coming out real aggressive in this return match after 9 months away, and Carlito definitely paid the price. Well, let's see if Jimmy Hart does any better for Big John Studd than Freddie Blassie did. We'll be back with the Legends TV tag titles on the line. Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot defend against Law and Disorder right after this.
Another championship match coming up as Law and Disorder, the Big Boss Man, and Bam Bam Bigelow challenge Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot for the RWL Legends TV tag titles.
Sarge and Patriot have held the belts since the start of summer, and no one's been able to move them out of the spot.
Bam Bam and Boss Man have held the belts before, and they want them back in the worst way.
Hey, all they've got to do is get that pin or a tap out, and it's all theirs.
Easier said than done, GB. Sarge and the Patriot have been, like Wally said, immovable.
Law and Disorder, back at full health following an injury to the Boss Man that sidelined him for months early last year. So he and Bam Bam Bigelow will be in top form for this title match.
Well, to date, Sarge and Patriot have retained the belts against Law and Disorder previously, as well as Dr. D. David Schultz and Dr. Death Steve Williams. But this title match will probably be a much tougher challenge for Sarge and the Patriot.
Especially when you consider Boss Man and Bam Bam don't particularly care for Sarge and the Patriot.
The Legends TV Tag Champions joined at ringside tonight by 3P Patriotic Pam Parsons, which is an interesting development. Parsons and Sarge aren't romantically linked or anything, but the Mean Marine has taken an interest in Pam's career, and I guess her presence tonight could be an indication of things moving forward for 3P. Sarge has already rehabilitated wrestlers that almost quit, like Tarn Lassider, who's also part of Sarge and Patriot's entourage. Seems like they've moved into this championship spot and bought really nice furniture since they're not planning on moving.
And Law and Disorder are gonna try and slap him with an eviction notice. But I guess we'll see if Bam Bam and Boss Man will be able to do it this go-round.
Well, they better. It's win now or forever hold your peace. They go back to the bottom of the pecking order if they don't win.
The following contest is set for one fall, with no set time limit, and it is for the RWL Legends TV Tag Team Championships. Introducing first the challengers, at a combined weight of 672 pounds, the Big Boss Man and Bam Bam Bigelow, Law and Disorder. Their opponents, accompanied by Patriotic Pam Parsons, at a combined weight of 565 pounds, the RWL Legends TV Tag Champions, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
Well, Sarge and the Patriot, they're a couple of shrewd ones. That no time limit stipulation, that's all theirs. And they said if Bam Bam and Boss Man can't beat them with no set time limit, they need to go back to the bottom of the pecking order. I guess we'll see how it all turns out. All right, it's going to be Bam Bam Bigelow and the Patriots starting us off in this tag team title matchup as Willie Johnson rings the bell. And here we go. The Patriot shoved away by Bam Bam, followed up with a clothesline that quickly takes the Patriot down. Bam Bam Bigelow right on him again, the Beast of the East, with a double underhook and a backbreaker to the Patriot. The Big Boss Man comes in on the tag. The ref sees the tag. Boss Man charges a clothesline, puts the Patriot down into the corner. Boss Man looking at Sergeant Slaughter like, what are you going to do about it? The Patriot slams him face first into the canvas, and here comes Sergeant Slaughter. Patriotic Pam Parsons standing by. Running kick to the face from the Big Boss Man. Sergeant Slaughter rounded up. The Big Boss Man whips him to the corner, rebounds out painfully. The Sarge rounds him up again. Discus punch takes the Boss Man down to the canvas, followed up with a kick to the back. As Sergeant Slaughter steps out and turns it over to the Patriot, the team working very efficiently as usual. Boss Man misses with the grapple. Look at this. The Patriot goes behind on him, clubbing overhand blow to the chest, takes him down. Boss Man counters with a kick quickly, back up on his feet. Slams the arm of the Patriot into the canvas. He turns his attention to the Sarge, brings him back into the ring the hard way. Well, damn. Boss Man winds it up. There's an uppercut to the Patriot. Sergeant Slaughter momentarily stunned by being brought into the ring the hard way. Boss Man tags him with a right. The Patriot rounded up over the shoulders of the Big Boss Man, being escorted to the far right corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Patriot. Sergeant Slaughter still out to lunch here as the Patriot alley-ooped out of the corner by the Big Boss Man. Boss Man tags Sarge with an elbow, gets him out of here. The Patriot rolls to the outside. The Big Boss Man takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Decides against the high-risk maneuver as the Patriot makes his way back inside the ring. The Big Boss Man has him up over the shoulders again in the fireman's carry. Look at this. Quick counter into a roll-up pin by the Patriot. How about this right here? One. Just barely a one. Sergeant Slaughter comes in on the tag. So does Bam Bam Bigelow. Fresh partners all the way around. Running crossbody from the Beast of the East. Takes down the Sarge. A clothesline. Takes him down again. Sergeant Slaughter back up on his feet real quick, though. Front cradle up over the shoulders of Bam Bam Bigelow into a Samoan drop. Oh, now. Bam Bam Bigelow asserting himself here. A hard right to the Sarge. Spins him around. He goes behind. Has the Sarge up over the shoulder. Inverted fireman's carry. He's trying for a torture rack. He's going to try and get a submission out of the Sarge. Oh, now. Sergeant Slaughter decides he doesn't like that idea. Beats a tattoo on the noggin of Bam Bam Bigelow. Locks him up. Gets him into a headlock, follows up with a headlock punch, goes behind on Bam Bam Bigelow, sets him up, clubbing overhand right to the chest. And now Bam Bam Bigelow in trouble as he's laid out center ring, and the Sarge making his way to the top turnbuckle here. Let's see where this one goes. Sarge goes air, big Tom air. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Now Bam Bam Bigelow got that left shoulder up, and thank goodness there was no Big Boss Man to help him. Well, the match continues again. The Legends TV tag on the line here in this matchup. On Disorder trying to regain control of things here as Sergeant Slaughter delivers a set of elbows to the rather massive potbelly of Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam gets a hold of him, tags him with an overhand right and a running kick to the face. Sarge quickly back up, catches another running crossbody from Bam Bam Bigelow as he turns it over to the Big Boss Man. Sergeant Slaughter laid out near center ring. Boss Man slams the arm of the Sarge into the canvas. Boss Man rounds him up, double choke lift, and hurls him towards his team corner. Sergeant Slaughter in trouble and on the wrong side of town as Law and Disorder starts to try and impose their will. Sarge quickly back up again, drives a knee into the head of the Big Boss Man, takes it over to his corner, tags in the Patriot again. Pam Parsons being extremely well behaved here. The Patriot misses with the running knee. Boss Man whips him to the rope. There's an elbow that takes the Patriot down to the canvas. And here comes Bam Bam Bigelow again. The Patriot comes back in after a quick reset. Bam Bam gets a hold of him. Hard Irish whip to the ropes. Here comes the Patriot. There's an elbow that takes him down to the mat. Bam Bam Bigelow displaying that power. Military press slam to the Patriot as he turns it over to the Big Boss Man. The Patriot back up on his feet. Boss Man charges, fails to connect with the clothesline. Patriot goes behind on him, gets him by the hair, clubs him with an overhand right. The big boss man gathered up again by the Patriot. And he winds it up into a hammerlock, a possible submission, but not very likely. Boss man with a shot to the midsection disengages the Patriot, flips into the corner. Here comes the boss man. Big running splash to the Patriot, takes him down the canvas. The big boss man drives the knee of the Patriot into the mat. And he's favoring that knee, man. Bam Bam Bigelow comes in on the tag. The Patriot's still not back to a standing position as he moves in on him. Stomps the hand. Look at this. And then stomps the elbow. Bam Bam Bigelow not fooling around here. The Patriot winds it up. Big time Popeye uppercut right there to Bam Bam Bigelow. Patriot locks him up again. Another hard right hand takes Bam Bam Bigelow down to the mat. The Patriot gathers him up one more time. Escorts him to his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Bam Bam. Bam Bam counters with an elbow. Catches a cheap shot from the Sarge. Patriot goes behind. Falling neckbreaker to Bam Bam Bigelow. As Sergeant Slaughter is again brought in on the tag. This team, this is why they've been Legends TV Tag Champions for so damn long. Sergeant Slaughter with a hard right spins Bam Bam around, goes behind on him, has him up, and into an atomic drop right on the tailbone. That'll destroy your coccyx. Big boss man begging to be tagged in, and he does. Bam Bam Bigelow makes the tag. Sergeant Slaughter waiting for the boss man. Kick to the midsection from Sarge. Sarge rounded up by the boss man into a pile driver, and he nails it. That could be disastrous for the team. Sergeant Slaughter making his way to a standing position on the outside apron. Boss man right there waiting for him. Gets a hold of him and brings him back in the hard way. A clubbing overhand right to the back of the head from the big boss man. Sergeant Slaughter rounds him up over the shoulder. Oh, man, big time shoulder breaker from the Sarge. And here comes the Patriot again as the boss man rolls to the outside. The Patriot content to stand there and bide his time while boss man gets himself back inside the ring, which he seems a little hesitant to do. He goes after the Sarge instead. Delivers the kick to the midsection to Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge counters into a back body drop. The Patriot got tired of waiting. He's going after Bam Bam Bigelow. Hangs him up the top rope. Sarge delivers the hip toss to boss man on the other side of the ring. The Patriot all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Possible high-risk maneuver coming. Nope. Changes his mind on the subject. Running drop kick to the boss man instead. The Patriot, with a driving knee into the head of the big boss man, deftly steps over, tags in the Sarge. And well, here we go. The Legends TV Tag Champions are firing on all cylinders right now. Sergeant Slaughter locks in a heel hook stretch on the big boss man. Man, this match has been good so far. Sergeant Slaughter moves in on the boss man with an elbow to the chest. Here comes the Patriot again. Big boss man right there waiting for him. They lock it up. Kick to the midsection from the Patriot. The Patriot locks him up again. Boss man catches a hip toss from the Patriot, who goes in for a quick cover here. 1, 2, but Bam Bam Bigelow right there to break up the party. Sergeant Slaughter shows Bam Bam the door. A stomp to the face of the big boss man from the Patriot. A running knee doesn't connect. Boss man back up on his feet. A hard right puts the Patriot against the ropes. Sergeant Slaughter with a headlock takedown on Bam Bam Bigelow on the outside, and this one has just completely degraded into absolute chaos. I kind of like it. Patriot shoves boss man away with both boots. Rounds up the big boss man, drives another knee into his head. Slams his arm into the canvas. And oh man, this is not looking good for Law and Disorder. There's a shoulder claw to the big boss man from the Patriot. Slammed down. And the Patriot still stalking the big boss man here. Gathers him up to a seated position and gouges his face. Oh man. The Patriot with clubbing double axe handle and a rolling elbow across the back. And here comes Sergeant Slaughter again. The big boss man might want to think about tagging out at this point. Sergeant Slaughter catches a shot to the midsection from the boss man. Boss man spins him around with a hard right, goes behind on him, delivers a headbutt to the back of the head, gets a hold of him in the dragon sleeper and pitches him halfway across town. Oh man. Rolling elbow from the boss man, fails to connect. Sergeant Slaughter fails to connect with the knee, delivers a kick to the midsection of the boss man, gets a hold of him, has him up over the shoulder, slams him down hard. Man. Sarge covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Wrap this one up and take it on home. Sarge and the Patriot retain the Legends TV Tag titles. Let's go get the official time.
The time, 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Your winners by pinfall Slaughter and the Patriot.
Well, all right, Sarge and the Patriot retaining the Legends TV tag titles. Bam Bam and Boss Man go back to the bottom of the pecking order, and, well, whoever it is that faces Sarge and the Patriot next, it's not going to be law and disorder, I'll tell you that much.
It's another important win for Sarge and the Patriot, who looks like they may end 2025 still on top as Legends TV Tag Champions. And you gotta wonder, who's it gonna be next time gunning for those title belts?
When we return, our main event featuring new Mid-Atlantic champion, Ox Baker, in just a minute. And in tonight's main event, To Short Welfare Popeye has signed X-Pac to a non-title matchup against the new Mid-Atlantic champion, Ox Baker.
Hot dog, an actual human sacrifice. Fans, don't say we don't spoil you rotten here at our WL.
You're a mess, Wally.
Yo, DJ, put a nigga back to the record, baby, and give me this right now.
Tonight's Snarl main event is a non-title match set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by To Short Welfare Popeye Scott Bell. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, weight 221 pounds, here's X-Pac.
He may not be one of the most popular guys around, but he works for Scott Bell, which is really all that matters when you're talking about Scott Bell. X-Pac signed to this match, whether against his will or not, I can't really say, but signed to a match against the Mid-Atlantic champion Ox Baker. Well, let's face it, X-Pac got educated feet, but they better have a college degree if they're going to be dealing with Ox Baker.
His opponent, accompanied by the Grand Wizard of Wrestling from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 312 pounds, the reigning RWL Mid-Atlantic champion, Ox Baker.
The Ox, successful in relieving Paul Orndorff of the Mid-Atlantic belt just a couple of weeks ago. And I don't have to tell you, both the Ox and manager the Grand Wizard are in all their glories at the moment. I honestly don't think a cruiserweight guy like X-Pac even has the wherewithal to handle a monster like the Ox. Gonna be a tough match, with X-Pac never more than one hard punch away from defeat and humiliation.
Maybe Bell knows something we don't. Maybe X-Pac has got some kind of miraculous line on how he's gonna circumvent Ox's size and strength.
Yeah, maybe he's carrying a machine gun in his damn trunks. Well, Wally, I don't know if we're gonna call it a human sacrifice, but let's see how X-Pac fares against Ox Baker as Willie Johnson rings the bell on our main event, and whoa, right into a power slam right out of the gate. X-Pac counters with a kick. Delivers another kick to the head of Ox Baker. Rounds him up, drives a knee into the head of the Ox. Ox Baker rolls to the outside. X-Pac being restrained by the referee. Oh, man. X-Pac with a baseball slide. Those boots to the chest of Ox Baker. He comes back out after him. There's a chop block that takes him down to the floor. X-Pac catching knuckles to the temple from Ox Baker. It's already starting to not look good for Mr. X-Pac. X-Pac slammed into the lip of the apron. Ox Baker makes his way back inside. Yeah, he's in control of things right now. A kick goes behind on X-Pac. There's a German suplex. A stomp to the back as Ox Baker turns things around here. X-Pac counters again. Well, how about that? X-Pac catches a clothesline from Ox Baker. The Ox misses with the stomp. X-Pac gets shoved away. X-Pac gets shoved away again and quickly taken down. Hard right hands to the head from Ox Baker to X-Pac. Well, now Ox Baker with an elbow to the face, a chop across the chest, tries for the bear hug, but catches an eye gouge from X-Pac. Rebound off the top rope moonsault, doesn't even find anything. Ox Baker rounds him up. Shoulder breaker to X-Pac. As Too Short Welfare Popeye looks on as his remaining bit of property is destroyed. Oh, man, knee from the top rope, 10 feet up. Death from above to X-Pac. A stomp to the arm from Ox Baker. He liked it so much he's going to do it again. Oh, man. The Ox gets a hold of X-Pac. There's a clothesline. Slamming his head to the floor. X-Pac, rounded up by Ox Baker, rolls back inside the ring. He's taking his time about getting in there. Well, now, Ox Baker would rather show up to the fans than finish the job, but I guess he feels he's in control of things, so what the hell. Takes himself back inside X-Pac, catches a running drop kick to the back, and Too Short Popeye's seen enough. X-Pac goes behind, catches a butt bump from Ox Baker. Ox catches a kick to the midsection. Well, now, X-Pac trying to turn things around here. He slides out after Ox Baker, spins him around with a hard right, tags him with a shot to the back, follows it up with a second one. X-Pac with a couple of chops across the chest of Ox Baker. A kick to the midsection and a DDT out there on the floor. Oh, well, Ox Baker getting things turned around on him here as X-Pac proceeds to roundly abuse him on the outside while the referee counts. Oh, I guess that's one strategy. Ox Baker shoves him away with both boots. Gets back up to a standing position. X-Pac locks him up and drives him even further away from the ring with the referee still counting. We might see a count out here. X-Pac with a kick to the midsection to Ox Baker. Sets up the neck breaker and nails it out there on the ramp. As the referee continues to count, and that count's getting smaller and smaller every time. There's a forearm to Ox Baker, and getting even further. We're already up on the stage, man. Whoa! A DDT to the head of Ox Baker from X-Pac. A rolling elbow to the chest. He's still got a chance if he can hustle and get back to the ring. He's just going to take his time about things. Twisting the head and neck of Ox Baker. Slams his head to the floor. Ox counters with a kick to the head, gets back up. Delivers a stomp to the shoulder. Ox Baker boogieing for all he's worth to get back to that ring in time. X-Pac not too far behind, and the count out is averted. X-Pac goes behind on Ox Baker, whips him to the corner, follows that up with a clothesline, takes the Ox down, slams the arm. X-Pac definitely trying to turn things around here. Ox Baker was in control, but X-Pac has changed the momentum here. Delivers a kick to the back of Ox Baker. X-Pac all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Here we go. Oh, man, what a senton. There's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Shut up! X-Pac defeats the Mid-Atlantic champion Ox Baker by pinfall, and I don't believe it.
The time, 5 minutes exactly. Your winner by pinfall, X-Pac.
Well, thank God Myron ain't here. He would not like this at all. X-Pac pulling a huge, and I mean massive, upset on Ox Baker, the new Mid-Atlantic champion. Well, I don't even really know what to say about that. Hold on a minute. It's Paul Orndorff, the former Mid-Atlantic champion, and he is making a beeline to the ring. And I'm pretty sure it's not to shake X-Pac's hand and congratulate him on a big win.
Bell's stupid, but not stupid enough to stay for what's going to happen.
He and X-Pac quickly getting the hell out of Dodge before Orndorff makes it to the ring.
And boom, here we go, Mr. Wonderful. Taking out some aggression on Ox Baker for taking his Mid-Atlantic championship. And this is exactly the same damn thing he did to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm pretty sure Ox Baker doesn't even know how to handle it. Oh, man. There's a rib breaker from Paul Orndorff. Mr. Wonderful rounded up by Ox Baker, but a quick counter into an inverted DDT. Ox Baker catching it from Mr. Wonderful pile driver right on the top of that big old ball dome. A stomp to the chest. Mr. Wonderful just coming out here in street clothes to beat the living hell out of Ox Baker. Like I said, this is the same thing he did to Stone Cold Steve Austin several times. Ox Baker could be in for a... Oh, get the hell out of here. He's got the damn ring steps. Oh, come on, Paul. That's a bit much, isn't it? Damn.
Orndorff making his way inside. Ox Baker tags him with the right before he can do any damage. Trying for a vice grip. Trying to stop Paul Orndorff, trying to slow him down. And he may have just done it. Mr. Wonderful slowly struggling back to his feet, catches a back rake from the Ox. Orndorff counters with an elbow. Ox Baker locks him up. A snapmare and an elbow to the back of the head from the Ox. There's a kick to the head from Orndorff. Orndorff with a chop puts Ox Baker up against the ropes, and he's got those ring steps, and he ain't playing. Ox Baker comes to catch it. Oh, man. Catches one right in the face. Mr. Wonderful dispatches the ring steps, slides on out, slides on back in. Ox Baker looks very confused. Orndorff whips him to the ropes. They collide. Ox Baker rounded up again by Mr. Wonderful. Over the top rope and out onto the floor we go. Now this isn't even a match. Paul Orndorff is determined to make Ox Baker's life real difficult so long as he's got that Mid-Atlantic Championship. Hell, he may want to just hand the damn thing back. Orndorff with another set of ring steps. You've got to be kidding me, man. Ox Baker trying to put out the fire here, but good luck with that project. It ain't happening. Whoa! Belly-to-belly suplex halfway across town for Ox Baker. Orndorff's got those ring steps again, decides against it. Orndorff has him against the rope. There's a shot to the face, and oh, man, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff clearing the ring of Ox Baker. And well now, if this is an indication of things we've seen in the past, Ox Baker may have to get used to a series of post-match attacks from Mr. Wonderful.
All right, that's gonna be all for this extended edition of our Rwl Sn Rl. Fans, as always, thanks for joining us and supporting our WL Wrestling. Please know that we appreciate you all. Our next RWL Wrestling telecast will begin Tuesday evening, November 11th, as our WL Rage returns with Don Hickson, Myron Shimelman, and Christy Ogilvy. For Johnny, Tex, and yours truly, Wally Cardell, saying thanks, good night, and be safe. We'll be back this next Saturday, the 15th. See you then.